The biggest challenge in historic renovations is really the unknown. When you're opening up a 100-year-old building, there are always things that no one could have ever imagined.
It takes creative design, creative layout to put these buildings to the highest and best use and not end up with these massive areas of the building that are underutilized.
I think adaptive reuse and historic tax credit projects can really propel the market forward. They're some of the most interesting and complex projects to work on.
We are designing, in many cases, 100,000 plus square feet building that we're converting that is still very true to the historic nature to which it was first delivered. If you have a design team, architect, or interior designer who's not familiar with that process, you are largely handicapped.
There's a variety of hurdles. Certainly financing is a major hurdle, but we have tools at the state and federal level that help us fill that gap that does exist on almost every single historic adaptive reuse.
Historic tax credits have been key to what we do because what they've allowed us to do is take great buildings and bring them back to life that in other cases may not be feasible.
Finding land to develop is getting harder and harder, and especially in urban cores, having existing building stock that can be converted saves some of the history and saves that sense of community. Being able to be nimble is really important. When you're opening up a 100-year-old building, there are always things that show up that no one could have ever imagined. Structure in places that you never expected something to be, or areas where there just might be damage from rain, wood rot.
Your floor plate in a historic building is your floor plate. You can't make it smaller, you can't make it bigger. It takes that creative design, creative layout to put these buildings to the highest and best use and not end up with these massive areas of the building that are underutilized.
You know, we've done a number of historic tax credit adaptive reuse buildings. The Cottonwood Hotel in Omaha, Nebraska started its life as the Blackstone, which was a very famous hotel, converted to an office during its 100-year life. The Canopy in Minneapolis has an industrial background. The Surety in Des Moines was essentially an old bank building. But the approach and the aesthetic that happens is really rooted in the guest experience and trying to create something unique in the marketplace for each of those buildings. Some buildings just really weave the fabric of the city together, and being able to save some of those buildings, I think, is one of the most fulfilling things we can do as architects and interior designers.